Brad, what stood out to you?
I mean, I thought, we said it last night, I thought we played with a good amount of purpose, even in the first half when things weren't going our way. I thought our worst 6 minutes of the game was probably the first 6 minutes of the third, but for the most part, we were really locked in and got a lot of good contributions from a lot of people.
You mentioned that it was 21 midway through the third. Where did your guys find resolve at that point?
We were down 20 here in late December at the start of the fourth and had a shot to win it. And you know, last year we were down big here and ended up winning the game. In the NBA, these games last forever, and there's so many possessions left that, you know, if you can cut it to 12 and then get a stop, cut it to 8 or cut it to 9, and then get a stop, cut it to 7, and you feel like, you know, those leads can go quick if you play the right way. It's easier said than done. We got some fortunate bounces from them not making shots in the second half. As I told you at halftime, maybe the law of averages kicked in for us a little, you know, hey, you have to play really well to have a chance to win. Yeah, he's terrific. He's been so good for us all 3 years. He brings a competitive spirit of belief that we need and that we lean on and rely on. And, you know, I think that last night, obviously, the shot making is what everybody talks about, but he did so many other great things. He was defending multiple positions, multiple actions, posting up for us. Got the big offensive rebound kick out that he kicked out to Al late for 3. He just makes a lot of winning plays.
How much does his...
I think he's pretty confident. He's not concerned about his confidence, and rightfully so. I mean, when you're a competitor and like he is, and you know, I think sometimes we throw around those terms loosely, but he's tough. He is competitive. He's going to give it everything he has, and he believes he's out here for all the right reasons, and you know, we're glad he's with us.
Brad, how much does just his sheer energy sort of infuse things?
Yeah, always has. Always has. Big reason why we brought him off the bench most of the year, because you always knew that no matter how you started a game, you had that coming into the game. And so, you know, that's been a great trait of his.
Do you expect to see a difference in LeBron James moving forward?
Well, one of the things that, as you go back and watch the film, you know, I thought LeBron made a lot of the right plays. And when you've got guys that are all, you know, on fire the way they are, you know, the right basketball play is to find them. And he just made it over and over. And so, like, the guy's a tremendous basketball player. I mean, he makes the right play over and over, and he thinks the game, he sees the game. He's a really good defender. He's a really, he can read situations. So, you know, I thought he was pretty darn good. But, you know, like I said last night, I'm not going to be critical of the best player in the world.
Jonas said he thought you guys kind of gave him too much respect in games 1 and 2. What did you think changed about your energy and kind of the way you stood up to them in game 3?
I didn't think, you know, I thought the biggest thing was that we played better.
Avery just talked about the FaceTime call after the game with Isaiah, and just how happy Isaiah was. I mean, he's still a huge part of this team.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that had happened until later on. But you know, one of my first text messages I got was from Isaiah, and you know, he's hurting not being able to be out there, but he's completely invested. That's what it is.
Coach, to follow up on that question about LeBron, Avery indicated that he expects the Cavs to come out with a certain level of purpose that they didn't necessarily have throughout last night's game. During Game 4, what can you say just about what you expect them to come out and maybe the purpose of the
I think they're champions. They always come out with purpose. I mean, they scored 66 on us in the first half. Felt pretty purposeful when it was happening. So I think at the end of the day, like, we're going to have to take that hit and weather the storm, you know. And you know, I thought we weathered it reasonably well, all things considered, because I thought we played well in the first half. But some of those shots were, you know, incredible. We just have to, you know, we have to realize it's a long game. We can't get too up or too down. You know, we can't have what happened in game 1 and 2 where they go on a run and we let it affect our next play happen. That's the biggest thing.
I know not much time has passed. Is there an update on Isaiah?
He's in. I don't know where he is today, but he's getting looked at today, and then I'll probably find out later on.
And before the series, the Cavs raved about your ATOs. I'm just curious about the thought process and the packages and how many different options do you have and the process that you go through in deciding which plays to run.
We're in game 100. That means you watch 5 times that many games or 6 times that many games throughout the course of the year all over the league. You know, it just as you're studying, so all you're doing is you're stealing from everybody else and you try to figure out what might work best in certain situations. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Everybody says that Mark has really good ATOs.
He does.
Is there anybody in particular that you've stolen from, like, generously? Because they're just
literally have stolen from everybody. And I've said this when I was coaching in college, and especially when you become a head coach and you're responsible for doing some of that stuff. I've learned something from every film I've watched. You know, and here it's like, you know, you feel like you're getting your PhD every time you turn on the tape.
How do you pare it down, though, without giving away too much secret? I mean, in your mind.
It's about the players. It's not that big of a deal.
Right on the play where Jonas had the kick out from Avery, a few seconds left. Avery said that the play was originally for him to drive the lane. At what point did Avery kind of break off from the play and make the pass?
When all 4 guys were flying at him. I mean, that's why you space around him. You try to, you know, try to have shooters all over the floor. And I think, as I was telling Chris, we always want layups. We've run that a bunch in the past. And sometimes he's able to turn the corner for a layup. Sometimes he's able to make the right read and kick out.
You guys had a healthy dose of post-ups yesterday, whether you had mismatches or not. What did you like about?
I thought we had to do that. You know, with Isaiah being out, probably a little bit less spread pick and roll oriented than we would be normally. So we tried to, you know, and we've tried to make a huge emphasis on playing through the post all year with Al as a passer or Smart as a passer. And we get some of our better, you know, traditional motion and cutting actions when the ball goes in the post. And so it's, you know, it's sometimes the guy that gets it in the post scores, but a lot of times it's get other actions.
It's you know, it's become post-ups are kind of dying a little bit around the league when you think about it, but. Is there an advantage to it, and that sort of turns the defense around a little bit? You know,
we were talking about this a couple weeks ago on the radio. I think you know, because people just tend to look at the post-up as the one-on-one isolation play, you know, I think a lot of teams are using it as a passing play because of the angle at which you can start to cut and do those types of things. Golden State's probably the best at it, where they throw it in there and slip all those screens, and you know, you're sucked onto those shooters, and you don't want to help and you get all the dunks. But I think that, you know, with Al's ability to pass, with Smart's ability to pass, those are things that we've tried to incorporate more of this year. And, you know, kind of with this group, without IT, you know, it's one of the things we'll try to do. Thanks.